started. So when you come to your mat, I'd like you to actually lie face down. So you're going to be making really good contact with the mat. Now, it's not always the most comfortable feeling, and you can prop yourself in any way you like. So if you've got a cushion and you prefer to have that against your chest, then that's a good prop to use. Oh, and before you get too settled in, if you could just have a tea towel, a jumper, something long and stretchy near you, because we'll need that towards the end of the session, and you don't want to get up and back around then. So it's something like this. Yeah, unless you can, yeah, something like that, just a hand. So lying down on your fronts, let's just place our palms underneath our forehead and really let your weight go heavy into the floor and let the floor receive you. So offer yourselves to the floor beneath you and allow the floor to catch you. And it could be, and I don't know what sort of mornings or weeks you've had recently, it could be that as you do this, you feel a sense of your thoughts slowing down, or maybe your breath, your pulse. And perhaps even you start to feel a bit heavier than you did before you came to the mat. So which parts of yourselves do you feel more attuned to and more aware of? And note if that's a pleasant feeling or an unpleasant feeling, and try not to fight it, rather accept that as it is, because we don't need to add too many layers to this noting and observing. Perhaps you can tune into places where you feel tension. And just by noticing those places, you probably relax them slightly. So you feel yourselves drop closer to the earth. Can you notice your breath? Ask yourselves how you feel today. How do you feel today? How do you feel? And where do you feel it, perhaps? What's the nature of your thoughts? Are they sort of spiky and jumpy? Think about the sort of terms you use in music, staccato, or do you have quite smooth thoughts, quiet piano? What sort of music's inside you today? And as you get used to this watching of yourselves, perhaps you get used to being an observer, and it's that observer that's quite neutral. That's the place where we hold our most potential, our fewest barriers, as we watch and we observe and we note. So no judgment, and see how long you can practice and keep that sense of judgment at bay. Then lift your heads up slightly and spread your arms out, so you're making a cross face down. And then peel up, so you're going to rotate. Bring your left hand close into the chest and rotate your left knee up. So the sole of the left foot is flat on the floor and the left knee points up. And you'll probably feel quite an opening through the shoulder here. So you could push back a little bit and just gently seesaw, the gentle motion there to feel where the strain, and there might be a bit of strain, where the strain is and which muscles. How is that feeling? So if you, as you peel back and open perhaps that knee closer to the ground towards your left-hand side, you may notice an increase in the stretch in the right arm, the right shoulder, and the right pectoral muscles. Okay, lovely. Let's roll over and do the other side. So come face flat down and just wriggle the hips in between each side to release. Then draw up the right hip, the right knee points upwards, and you draw yourself back onto the left shoulder and feel that openness there. So you draw your right palm closer into your chest if you need to feel a bit more propped, and let the head relax. Draw your left toes up towards you, feel the heel push away. Great. And roll back down to the floor. Then bring your arms either side of the mat. I'm just going to face you. and span them so they're wider than the mat is. Then let your feet come a little bit wider so your feet aren't touching. So wriggle yourselves into the ground again. Just let the shoulders and the hips be heavy and melt into the ground. Take a nice deep breath in. Tuck the chin to elongate the back of the neck, and then gradually, as you inhale, lift your lower ribs off the mat. So we're getting into a really gentle, soft back bend. And if you feel any pinching in the lower back, take it slightly lower, or wobble your hips to release your back muscles, or take your feet out a little bit wider. So a few options there. And if you want to go a little bit deeper into the back bend, you just need to walk your palms a little bit closer towards you. Feel the upper body peel off the ground, and yes, your pelvis might draw down a little harder into the surface beneath you. And see if you can just inhale from the very tip of your tailbone to the top of your crown. Let your breath pass over the vertebra of the spine. Let the ribs expand and the breath move freely in the front of the body. One more breath here. Inhale, soften, maybe even close your eyes, relax your jaw. Check in that your glutes are still chilled, wobbly, and exhale. Lovely. Lower yourselves back down. We're still prone on our bellies, and just draw the left foot in towards the left glute. You could do that with the left hand only if you want to involve the right fingers, the right arm too. You can interlace the fingers over the top of the left foot, roll the shoulders away from your ears, and maybe even start to draw your chest upwards. So then you can bend at the elbows and draw your heel a little bit further towards your glutes. So if you've been running, jogging, this is a really nice stretch there for the front of the thigh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hope you're enjoying it. Come back to your breath. Tuck the chin again so you're not crunching the back of the neck. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. And then you can release that leg. Maybe just wobble it around a bit so that you feel all the tension come out of it. And come back so that you are interlacing your fingers over your right foot now. On the opposite side, we practice this too. So what's the difference between the left and the right? Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Draw the chin slightly in. So you're looking towards the front of the mat, but not cracking, not crunching the back of your neck and looking upwards. Just look forwards. Lengthen through the spinal column. Breathe again. Think about breathing from the tip of your toe to the crown of your head. One more breath here. Inhale. And then exhale. Release that leg down. Tuck the toes and push back so your hips come towards your heels. Again, keep your gaze lifted, but your chin slightly tucked. Inhale from the armpits to the fingertips. And exhale smoothly, softly, and kindly. So in your practice today, can you consider kindness and curiosity towards yourselves? Draw yourselves up now to come onto all fours. We'll take our familiar wiggles and jiggles here in cat-cow. So first of all, just let your belly melt down to the ground and have that nice scooped out concave back. Inhale, look up, draw your chest through your arms. When you have that full breath, then you can start to exhale. See if you can first of all tilt your tailbone and then round the back. Vertebra by vertebra, take the gaze to the navel. And when you come to next inhale, take a brief pause, then draw through the arms, lift the chest, lift the gaze, let the belly drop down. In your own time, remember to take a brief pause in between your breaths. It's a really nice way to punctuate your observations. And also to remind yourselves that even when we're in between breaths, we're still there's still that opportunity to observe. On your next inhalation, I want you just to walk your hands so they're a little bit in front of your shoulders, tuck your toes, and up we come into downward facing dog. Walk the dog through left and right, bending the knees gently. Just check that your feet are hip width apart. So that's about 2 fists together between your feet. That you're drawing your pelvis together. So you think about drawing your sit bones together and your hips are equal. Then you're going to take all the weight into the left foot and arms and hover the right foot up so it's parallel to the floor. So we're not going too high up and we want the hips to be equal. Check in that the shoulders are also parallel with each other. So you're not falling back and your left shoulder drops down. Hold it here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to lift it higher. So this time consider the hips stack on top of each other. So the right hip stacks on top of the left and take the gaze underneath the right armpit. Inhale. And feel where you're finding the space and the stretch. Practice the difference between drawing your feet towards you and pointing them away with your breath. Kindness and curiosity. What's going well for you? What's challenging? Where have you got space to grow? Lovely. Draw the hips equal and then place that right foot down. And we're going to go straight into the left side. So inhale, draw the left leg up and parallel to the floor. So one of the advantages of practicing with Zoom is that you hopefully can see a little mini version of yourself. Check in with the screen. Where is your leg? Where are your hips? Have a couple more breaths here. 5, 4, 3. Are your shoulders level with each other? 2, 1. And then inhale, blossom your left hip up. Look under your left armpit. One of the disadvantages of Zoom is seeing my bare tummy. Let's take ourselves now into the breath here. Inhale, and again, practice with the foot. Where's your curiosity? Exhale. What are you interested in here? Inhale. And exhale. Now this time, draw your left knee in towards your chest and step it forward towards in between your palms and come into a nice low lunge. So your right knee can be lifted, it could be down to the floor, but just let yourself really come into the front knee. Hello knee, how are you doing today? Great. Perhaps hop your back foot a little shorter and straighten up through the front leg. So come up onto the fingertips of your fingers if you can touch the floor with a straight leg. So it makes it a little bit easier if you shorten your stance. If you're finding it challenging to come down to the floor, you can come up halfway and take your palms to your hips. Roll down. So roll down towards the front leg. So you think about maybe putting a little dip between the nose and the brow on the knee. Think about drawing your right hip forward. Come to your breath. So you're getting a bit of constriction here in the belly as you're folding down towards that front leg. Both legs nice and straight. Fantastic. Inhale now, come up, so halfway or to the fingertips. And then we're going to step the right leg and step the right knee down to the outside of the left foot. So it will look something, let me just get my right and left, right. So the right knee outside the left foot. that way's the wrong way. That's the left foot, so right, that's it, okay, so here you are, eventually. So the right heel is, the left heel is coming to, pardon me, the right heel is the outside of the left hip. If that's not available to you, you can stretch your right leg forwards. We're going to come into a little twist here, so just wrap around your left knee, and then inhale, draw the left arm up and back. Keep that, the knee drawing into the chest. Inhale, push away from the floor, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, turn around and look to the back of the room. So this is Ardha Matsyendrasana. If you want to go a little bit further in this, because we've been practicing this the last couple of weeks, see if you can extend that front arm, your right arm, long and grab the outside edge of your left foot. And if you want to go a little bit further, you can draw the left foot up with that bind there, and perhaps see if you can keep your spine upright. So try not to lean back. Then you draw your toes, the left toes towards you, and shoot the right heel away. Lovely. Then we're just going to release that and place both knees on top of each other. And just take a gentle twist over to the other side. Come back to the middle and layer your arms on top of each other. So it doesn't matter too much which way, but notice which way you're doing it. I've got right over left, so I'm sure that's the way you'd see it. And we're just going to hop the knees over to the opposite side. See if you can do that without moving, with, you know, just that smooth movement. You can try left and right a couple of times. Knees one side and then the other. Great, lovely. Then you come over to the opposite side and you just take a little twist in that direction. Great. And then we're going to bring ourselves into the opposite orientation. So this time the right leg hops over the left. And if you want to, again, you need to bring your left arm over to the outside of your right leg to take that bind. So you can grab the outside edge of the right foot. Otherwise, you can simply have your elbow over the knee, or you could catch, so you can either have the palm lifted or the palm can come down towards the thigh. And then inhale, draw the right arm up, back, and place the fingertips down. So that action, once you push your fingertips down into the earth, you can use it to find lift through the spinal column. And then again, if you want to, you can draw that leg up, push away with the heel. So you feel yourself pulling in opposite directions. You're drawing back, you're getting the twist through the spine, and you're reaching forwards with the leg. Lovely. Come back to the center and release. So this time you should have your opposite foot towards the front of the mat. This time we're going to come and lift up. So you undo this cross with your legs. Use your palms to frame your front foot and step back a little bit shorter than a leg's length so that we can come into the stretch, the pyramid stretch on the opposite side. So either onto your fingertips, or you can lift up halfway. Now the advantage of lifting up halfway with your palms on your hips is that you can use your palms to direct your hips forwards so that you feel yourself, you've got this really good connection with the position of your pelvis. Then think about the connection of the pelvis with the tops of the legs, and then think about the way that you're building up the strength from the earth. You're nice and strong through your base. And then you can roll down. Once again, the bridge of the nose comes to the knee. Think about drawing the left hip forwards. softly. Inhale, draw up and step the left foot forwards. Bring the feet together, bend through the knees. Inhale, draw up, look up. Exhale, come down to standing into Tadasana. So we're going to go into some sun salutations now. Inhale, draw up, look up. Exhale, fold forward, place the palms. Inhale, halfway lift, draw the navel in, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, place the palms either with bent knees or straight and look to your navel. Step the right leg back. Have a nice little lunge there and then let the left leg come to join. So come into your plank, nice and strong in the navel. Keep the hips low. Lower down, control it. Keep the elbows drawing into the side of the body. Come into Cobra, inhale, draw up, float the palms. Press the toes into the mat, let the knees lift. Exhale, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, come into downward facing dog. Inhale, 1. Exhale. Where do you feel the light? Inhale, 2. Exhale. How does the breath support you? Inhale, 3. Exhale. Where are there micro movements? Inhale, 4. Exhale. One more breath here. Inhale, 5. Where are you inhaling from? Exhale. So if you can initiate the movement from the navel, take the gaze to the front, bend the legs, and you can either step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Draw the navel in. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, keep that navel strong. Help it lift the torso up. Look up. Let the arms rise. Exhale, down to the side. Let's do this again, but this time with upward facing dog rather than cobra if you like. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Keep the navel tight. Bend the knees and hop or step to the back of the mat. Come into your plank. Do you see that motion? You use the knees to come into your plank. Lower down. Inhale, roll over the toes. Draw the shoulders back. Upward facing dog or cobra if you prefer. Exhale, roll over the toes once again. Into your downward facing dog. Inhale, 1. Oh, we're here again. But is it the same? Exhale. Inhale, 2. Think about the length in the spine and in your limbs. Exhale. Inhale, 3. Are you feeling nicely supported? Exhale. Is it good to get all this oxygen in your heads and your blood? Inhale, 5. Exhale, gently, smoothly. How is your breath? Hello, friend. Bend the knees, keep the navel drawn in, and look to the top of the mat as you hop up there. Keep that inhalation sense as you lift up halfway, and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, Tadasana. One more time. Inhale, look up, lift up. Feel the length in the body. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Keep that navel engaged, draw it in towards your spine. Exhale, step or hop to the back of the mat and then come into your plank. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, 1. That's the 3rd time. Is your ego succumbing? Exhale. So repetition. How do we approach it? Is it just routine? Inhale. Or what does it hold for us? Where's your curiosity? Exhale. Inhale, 3. Exhale. Inhale, 4. exhale. Inhale, 5. And exhale. Lovely. I'd like you to drop your knees, and so that they come into the center of the mat and come to sit on your knees, and if that's comfortable. So for some people, sitting on the knees really is not the right thing to do. So if that is you, you can do as we did earlier and just let the heels come out to the side, just for now. So what we want to do here is inhale and draw up and out of the hips. So we're nice and long in the body. Then I'd like you to interlace the fingers and rotate them so that the palms face upwards. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. So if you have another seated position, you just take up one that is more comfortable for you. Inhale. Think about the openness in the armpits. Exhale. Inhale. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale. And one more breath here, and then we're going to fold forwards. Inhale. And exhale. So folding forwards, let's think this through. We're going to inhale and draw up and get long, and then exhale. Keep the navel drawn into the chest. Keep sitting on your heels and see if your forehead can come to the floor before your hands do. When your hands touch the ground, let them spread in front of you. And then see if your forehead can find the floor and rest there, but keep your arms stretching long. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, look up and walk your palms back towards you and come onto the knees. We're going to come into our camel pose. So first version, tuck the toes, distance your knees, place your fists in between the knees and find that distance. Inhale once again, let's lift up out of the waist and find the length in the front body. Draw the shoulders down towards your waist. Maybe even look up if that helps. Draw the navel in. Now, can you just take a moment to feel the 360-degree strength that you hold in your torso? So push through the toe mound, lift with the navel, let it draw. Draw your tailbone down towards the earth, your gaze lifts up, you are strong. Then circle your right hand back and see if you can tickle your right heel. Keep your hips pushing forwards. If you feel yourself collapsing back, draw yourself back up, 2 arms up to the ceiling and have another go. Then circle the left palm back towards the left heel. So you get this reaching forward in the chest. If you prefer, you can look straight forwards. Inhale and draw your hips forwards. So you want your hips above your knees. Inhale. Exhale. Nice and open. The shoulder blades draw together behind the chest. And you feel the lift in the sternum. Inhale. Exhale. Come to the breath. Even if it's at a different pace to my counted. Exhale. See if you can count your breaths. We should be on round 4. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath now to come out. Inhale. First of all, circle the left arm up and then the right arm follows. So you should always feel a lift in the lower back. No collapsing there. Place the palms down. Stretch the right leg back, the left leg back, and coming into plank. Lower down. Keep the elbows into the chest. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Come over the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now see if you can breathe into that part of the lower back that may have been taking It's an unusual amount of bend that should be spread evenly through the spinal column in camel. But it's unusual for us to bend backwards, so it might be that this is a really good place for you to equalize through the spine. Wriggle and work through with the breath into each vertebra. Lovely. And then walk the palm, the soles of the feet towards the palms. You're into a forward fold. Inhale, draw up, standing. We're going to use the tea towel now. So if you just want to bring that towards you, come and stand onto the right foot and let the tea towel hook underneath the left foot. Take the tea towel in the left hand and come back to the standing leg. Let that kneecap draw up towards the thigh. So if you had shorts on and you saw your kneecap, it would be like smiling at you. Okay, because it's really drawing up. You're strong and straight and firm, like a pantomime hero. You can slap your thigh, that makes a satisfying sound. Are you ready? We're going to kick out with that right heel. So your toes are drawing towards you. The right heel pushes away. You might feel that more in the back seam of the foot. Lovely. Inhale, draw up, long. So think about your torso. Now you're stacking your shoulders above your hips. You bring your navel in, and then we're going to draw the foot out to the side. Lovely. So keep the sense of that heel pushing away from you. And if you've got the equilibrium, you look in the opposite direction to your leg. So I'm looking over to my right, as mirroring you, that is. Anyway, whoop, whoop, whoop. Wobble, you come back in. Wobble out, and you come back in. So lift out of the waist. Push through the leg. You can do it. You can do it. Draw the leg back to the center, and then take the tea towel in the other arm, and we're going to keep that leg forwards. Inhale, draw the left arm out to the side, and then take the gaze to follow the left fingertips. So you're coming into a twist. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. And then exhale. Come back to the front. Draw the knee into the chest. Say thank you very much. Now, before we put that leg down, we're going to sit down, cross the ankle over the opposite thigh. So your left ankle is over your right thigh. Let your tea towel just drop to the ground for a moment. Inhale, extend the arms out. Lovely. Exhale, sit a little lower. Enjoy the stretch of the hips. Lovely. Inhale, lift the chest. Draw the navel in. If you want a little more, bring the palms down to the floor. Exhale, fold over. Inhale. Wherever you are, allow the flexibility, the little adjustments. Don't fight them. Exhale. Place the palms together. Release that foot. Come down, sit into chair. Inhale, draw the navel away from the thighs. Just check that your knees are not over your toes. Exhale, sit a little lower. So if your palms press together, you can use that to push and draw the chest up. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more breath here. Feel the heat. Inhale, draw the navel in. And exhale, just flop like a ragdoll. Maybe draw a few circles left and right. Find your tea towel and come back up to standing. We practice the same on the opposite side. Take the weight into your left leg. Draw your right leg up. Hook the tea towel. And the same, we're holding the tea towel in the right arm. So same arm and leg, because we're going to extend out straight to begin with. Inhale, come back to your posture. Stand up nice and straight. Think about being pulled up by a string that's tied around your chin over the top of the head. Lovely, golden thread. Now, a good tip here, think about drawing your inner thighs together and your sit bones together. So the bones of your pelvis draw together here. That gives you a nice sense of stability in the pelvis and the hips. Inhale, draw the navel up away from the front thigh. Exhale, shoulders down towards each other and the waist. And then we're going to draw that leg open to the right hand side and take the gaze open to the left. You can do it. Now this is where we come back to a drishti, a focus point. Something, and it doesn't matter what, that your gaze can be engaged with, really fixed on, fixation, a sort of a strength that you can get just by looking at something. You feel held. You know your position in space. Tune into your grounding. What are you standing on? Lovely. Come back to the center. Change your palms, your grip over. And then inhale, draw your right arm back. So your left arm is lifting your right leg. Again, your right heel pushes away from you. Your toes draw towards you. Your gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale, 1. Exhale. Draw your inner thighs together. Focus still breathing. Exhale. 1 more breath here. Inhale, 3. Exhale, mindfully. Come back to the center. Draw the knee into the chest. Discard the tea towel. Cross that ankle over the opposite thigh. And come and sit down. Lovely. So how can you have a rest, even though there's places where it's challenging you? How can you shift your focus? How can you change your perspective? What does your ego make of this combination of movements? What does it matter what your ego makes of the combination of movements? Inhale, lift away from your thighs. Exhale, sit a little lower. If you want to, you can take a forward fold here. Deepens the stretch in the outside of the hips, but also offers you a little bit more stability and takes the pressure out of the standing leg. So there's winning in different ways in both versions. Lovely. Untuck the leg, come into a conventional chair pose, and then heel toe, so you're a little bit wider than hip width, and we're going to sink down into a nice deep squat. Inhale, let the elbows come inside the knees. Palms press together as you lift the chest, and you let your whole length of your spine draw down towards the earth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, 2. Feel the openness in the front of the pelvis. Exhale. Breathe in through the soles of the feet. Inhale, 3. Exhale, sink the hips down to the ground. And very gradually we'll just relax ourselves down onto the earth. Place the palms. Bring the knees with you. Perhaps draw a few little circles with the knees so the hips get a little bit of like more lubrication. Fantastic. So I'd like you just to extend your legs up, and like an eagle pose, I want you to wrap your right foot, maybe once, maybe twice, over your left leg, okay? Let your arms come out to the side and let your knees fall over to the left. Try and keep your right shoulder on the ground. So this is called twisted roots, this pose. If the leg arrangement isn't working for you, then you can untwist the root. Just have one knee on top of the other. If you are enjoying it, but you're feeling a lot of movement, it can be quite stabilizing to just bend at the left elbow and place the left palm on the outside of the right thigh. Now I'm going to take my gaze over the right hand. That's where we want to be. See if you can keep that right shoulder grounding into the ground. And that might mean that your knees don't touch the earth. That is absolutely fine. Now come to the breath and see what the breath does as you move through the body. Can you just trigger a few muscles to relax and release, and let the floor hold you. Now we're going to slow down, and as you do, perhaps you can draw kindness into mind. So what you feel grateful for, the benefits of your practice, for your minds, for your physical selves. And obviously those things are really closely linked. Just the amount of oxygen that you bring in through conscious and deep breath, that alone will be hopefully as beneficial as your favorite cup of, I don't know, flat white or latte or whatever, but more so, because this has come from within you. So it's a really nice way to sustain ourselves. Let's draw the knees up to the chest and then unravel them. Let the knees come symmetrically in towards you. Maybe give yourselves a bit of a hug with that sense of kindness. And then extend the legs up away from you and let the left leg wrap over the right. Once again, extend the arms out to the side. Take the gaze over to the left this time and let those legs come down towards the earth, but keep the left shoulder grounded. Then you come back to your breath. So is it quite different on this side? Not really important why, but it's interesting to notice, isn't it? Maybe you want to start to close your eyes. I'd like you to think today about which element you feel closest to. So whether that's the wind, air, or perhaps fire, perhaps you feel quite heated up and passionate today. Or perhaps you feel very connected to the earth and you're grounded. Or perhaps you feel quite watery and like you need to be on the move, or you've got something that's really going well. Maybe you're a mixture of different elements. So when we come into our Shavasana, we kind of have this kind of connection already established to a natural element and whatever it is that draws you towards that element, let's inhale and come up, uncross the legs. And you can come into Shavasana now. You can come back to prone Shavasana as you were at the beginning of the session. Or if you want to lie in your regular Shavasana, just keep the arms out to the side, the legs a bit more than mat width apart. Roll the shoulders away from the ears and place the shoulder blades down the mat, tuck the chin. Perhaps lift the pelvis and lower it down so you can feel the lower back release into the earth. Close the eyes, yeah, let the lids relax, let the eyebrows relax. And then come back to this visualization of your connection to an element. If you like, if you'd rather just let your mind completely turn off, relax, be free, then please do that. Whichever element that you feel connected to today. Can you apply that kindness and curiosity? So being grateful that you feel connected, that you have something to relate to that's so universal and so constant. But also curious as to what that brings to the quality of your day, your interpretation of events. Or if you can think of an element that might actually be beneficial to you, that's another thing that you could do, something that you need. Use this moment to yourselves to shine a little bit of light on how you feel, the quality of your emotions, the quality of your well-being, and what you may be able to offer and what you may be able to receive. You are seen. So anything that you feel needs recognition right now, but you're not sure it's been seen, just let yourselves feel really seen. You're right here in the present moment, filling the space with your being. Feel seen by yourself. You can drop any thoughts away now, have a moment of unleashed mind. Perhaps then you feel like, actually, my mind doesn't want to roam around, it's not rebelling. See if you can connect with this observer through the weeks. Check in with yourselves often as you can. Draw the soles of the feet together, so let the knees go out to the side, Supta Baddha Konasana. Just a nice wideness through the hips, through the pelvis. And then let the knees draw together and roll front and back very gently. You come up to seated. Now I'd like you to think about this element and just draw a breath in, draw your arms close to the chest, lower the lids and bow in reverence to this force outside of ourselves that we connect with. When you feel the moment pass, you can inhale and draw up and come back to seated. And hopefully you've brought something different to yourselves from the practice. Thank you very, very much for joining. Thank yourselves too. And hopefully we will get to practice again together soon. Any feedback, as always, please send a note or just ask any questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.